UK general election, one of the most important votes in a generation. 8 years on from a Brexit vote, a global pandemic, a war in Europe, and an ongoing cost of living crisis. Keir Starmer's Labour was in pole position against Rishi Sunak's Conservatives, who have overseen 14 years of chaos. The night began at 10 p.m, with an exit poll that even those in the Sky News studio were stunned by. Labour were predicted to have an astonishing 410 seats, with a majority of 170. As the exit poll confirmed the thoughts of most pollsters, the counting got underway, and the first result came with the speedy as ever Sunderland South being first across the line. And it kicked off the way the majority of the night would go, with a Labour victory for Bridget Phillipson.
Today our country, with its proud history, has chosen a brighter future.
A huge player in the run-up to the election has been Reform UK and the threat they pose to other parties, specifically the Tories, and they won their first seat of the night as former Conservative Lee Anderson won in Ashfield. Sir Ed Davey, leader of the Liberal Democrats, has taken a fun approach to his campaigning, and he held his seat in Kingston and Surbiton in London after securing 25,870 votes.
Now, I don't know if you could tell, but I've rather enjoyed this campaign. But what I've loved most hasn't been the paddleboarding or the bungee jumping. It's been speaking to people here in Kingston and Surbiton and across the United Kingdom.
Just before 3 o'clock, the leader of the Labour Party, Sir Keir Starmer, a man who has turned around the fortunes of the Labour Party that saw a devastating loss in 2019, held his seat in Holborn and St Pancras.
I will speak out for you, have your back, fight your corner every single day.
Following a big moment for Labour, the Tory party suffered 2 big losses in succession, with Defence Secretary Grant Shapps falling to Labour and Conservative Justice Secretary Alex Chalk losing in Cheltenham to Liberal Democrat candidate Max Wilkinson. One loss for Labour that stands out for multiple reasons is in Islington North, which has been held by Labour since 1983 by former leader Jeremy Corbyn, who stood as an independent after being suspended by the party. Corbyn beat his former party to become the independent MP for the London constituency. Minutes later, a political heavyweight that has never won in a general election finally got over the line. Reform UK leader Nigel Farage, on his 8th attempt, became an MP for Clacton. In his speech, he had a strong message for Labour.
This Labour government will be in trouble very, very quickly. And we will now be targeting Labour votes. We're coming for Labour, be in no doubt about that. I want to thank the team that have helped me do this over the last few weeks, my fellow candidates for behaving as impeccably as they have. Believe me, folks, this is just the first step of something that is going to stun all of you. Thank you very much.
Elsewhere, Education Secretary Gillian Keegan is beaten by the Liberal Democrat candidate Jess Brown-Fuller in Chichester, just before Green Party co-leader Carla Denyer beat Labour in Bristol Central in the party's first victory in the election.
Bristol, you made history today. Together we did it. We elected our city's first Green MP.
After success for Anderson and Farage, Richard Tice, who was recently moved out of the top spot for Reform UK, bagged himself the seat in Boston and Skegness to make up the 4th win for the party. One big name in the hat for a future leader of the Conservative Party is Penny Mordaunt, but she was defeated in her constituency of Portsmouth North.
Congratulations, Amanda. You have my assurance that I and my team will do everything we can to assist you in setting up your office and having a smooth transfer of our casework so that the people of Portsmouth have a good service throughout that period.
Following a flurry of big losses, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak was said to be nervous about his own seat in Richmond and Northallerton, and knowing his party was on track to suffer a huge defeat, he looked uneasy on stage as the results were read out.
I hereby declare that Rishi Sunak is duly elected. Congratulations, and he may address the stand.
It may be the only small positive for Sunak's night, despite YouTuber Nico Omilana mocking him with an L sign during his speech.
The Labour Party has won this general election, and I have called to Keir Starmer to congratulate him on his victory.
As Sunak conceded, another big Tory name was ousted moments later. Senior Conservative Jacob Rees-Mogg lost his seat in North East Somerset and Hanham to Labour.
And one final thought from Caractacus Potts, and that is, from the ashes of disaster grow the roses of success. So thank you very much to everybody, and good night.
2 minutes later, at 5 a.m, Labour crossed the magic 326 line to officially confirm an election win. Keir Starmer was met with cheers as he exclaimed, "We did it."
Thank you so much for that reception. What an amazing reception. We did it! You campaigned for it, you fought for it. We said we would turn the page, and we have. Today we start the next chapter, begin the work of change, the mission of national renewal, and start to rebuild our country. Thank you.
As Starmer was officially confirmed to be the next Prime Minister, it was time to say goodbye to another. Nope, not Rishi, but Liz Truss, who lasted only 50 days as PM. She was ousted in her constituency of South West Norfolk by 630 votes.
So much for being a safe seat. I'd like to take a moment too to thank our outgoing MP Liz Truss for her service to this constituency over the past 14 years. Politics can be brutal, and you have come in for your fair share of criticism, but may I take this opportunity to wish you well in the future.
A bruising night for the Conservatives in England and Wales, and also the SNP in Scotland, meant a historic landslide win for Labour. And just as quickly as the votes were counted, it was time for change and removal vans. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt, who won his seat, left number 11 Downing Street with his family and his dog by his side. 6 weeks ago, Rishi Sunak called a general election in the rain, and now he leaves Downing Street one last time and makes way for Keir Starmer, with a huge majority behind him after 14 years of Conservative chaos.
And it is thanks entirely to you, the British people, the true source of all our achievements, our strengths, and our greatness. Thank you.
To join this government of service in the mission of national renewal. Our work is urgent, and we begin it today. Thank you very much.